Good, Matt. I'm happy to be here, and I'm ready to see these rookies bring it to the floor this evening. I think there's a lot to be said, and I'm looking forward to announcing and going through this game with you tonight. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny you say that because it's like this opportunity has arisen now for the second time in these rookies' careers and kind of the last time for them to be on more of a level playing field with other opponents of theirs and show off some of the skills that they have. We're looking at two really, just two really talented groups of individuals. But more than that, it's the idea that if they didn't have the opportunity, like you said, at the combine, uh, this is one of those. Uh, it's one of the last opportunities they have because after this year, of course, they vouch for the All Star Week games, and the number of people who can get elected to those is much larger. So this is a special opportunity for these guys and gals, and I'm really hyped up to see what happens tonight. It could, there. Of course, it's an exhibition game. It could go either way. That's not really the point. We're just here to see some amazing basketball. No, no. You can hear me, right? I'm right here in the booth with you. Well, tell me, I'll just keep talking about things. Maybe eventually the rest of the people in the world will be able to tell me whether or not good old Matt Lewis here has a voice or an opinion to be said tonight, or if it's just going to be all about Ryan Eastman. Um, it would be an unfortunate event to have to uh, delay this game because these basketball players look ready to go. Don't you agree?
Let's try that. Can everyone hear me now?
Hello.
This is Ryan Eastman here. Can anyone hear me?
This is Matt Lewis. I'll wait for Ryan here.
Yeah, it looks like maybe I had my audio track disabled, but we shall see. The fancy mix board had track one turned off for my mic, but had it down saving to multiple tracks.
Hello.
Awesome. Okay, I think we are good to go. Well, my whole
Hello.
conversation is moot now, as I think the players are getting ready to start. I'm ready to start. We could definitely rehash some things once the games get going.
All right. Yeah, I'm very honored to be able to join you this game again, just to be able to see some of the talent here as Ralston makes a shot and puts the East on board for the first time. I think we're going to see a lot of three pointers tonight. I have a hunch. There's a lot of card fans that I think stuffed the ballots or something. Just kidding. Obvious joke. I can't kid that much recently. This week's been a little bit rough on the Wolf here.
We are having some audio issues again. Button got pushed again, but we should be good back and going.
Okay. Sorry about that, folks. It's one of those nights where the just the audio.
It's all
department is
Jimmy's
not-
fault.
Yeah, well, I try not to blame any particular individual when I come to these events and do these analyses with you. If you say it's Jimmy's fault, I'm all for that.
Yeah, well, missed second free throw there. Opportunity for the East to add to their lead. We saw them hit a 3 earlier. Definitely, I think the East has a bit more. Oh, elevating there.
Yeah. Yellow Weber there just found a lane and took advantage of it and got the first big dunk of the night.
That he did, and I'm going to be honest, I feel like the East is going to have the advantage in terms of just sheer mass. I mean, we look at Weber, Hunt, and CC as a starting lineup. Jumping over to the West, Frost, Coate, and Clark are more finesse players, whereas the East are definitely more of a bulk strength attacking post team.
We've got a lot of swing furs, or sorry, not swing furs, big furs in the on the bench at the moment. But you'll see them as the game progresses. That big strength for the East is going to come through potentially in the defensive game. And so far, I mean, just with a 9-3 start, you assume some of that has just to do with the sheer size differential.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair to them, I also feel like they have a bit more explosive offensive firepower with Teresa and Rutterfield as the two guards. I mean, Rutterfield coming off the bench for the Huntsville Mares has been very impactful, whereas Teresa has, I don't want to say struggled a bit, but is fighting for playing time with a Lorraine team that has acquired a few new pieces this last offseason with the trade for Callum Williamson.
It was Frost on the rebound, and then that's 22 getting pulled out there.
Yeah, I mean, fouls, I think they're going to give a little bit of leeway. I already shot you one fouled out, and there we go, Adam. Using that explosive speed, the Frog is no slouch when it comes to elevating in the post.
I'm excited to watch how Cody's career develops, just because of the fact that it's one of the first Frog players we've seen in nearly 15 years.
Well, he goes for a second there.
Oh my gosh.
He's showing off. Wants to be in the dunk contest maybe in a future season. I mean, that's the other thing I expect to see from these players is a lot of dunks, a lot of great post play. There's Weber with another.
For having a good start here. Presenting, of course, the Tennessee Moonshiners tonight.
Yeah, and kind of a player that fell a little bit in the draft. I think Tennessee was a bit shocked to find him there, and we see a great block coming out from, I believe that was Hunt there. Good defensive showing.
Nope.
But yeah, Tennessee, I think, was a little
bringing it up.
surprised to have Weber still on the board when they made it to their draft pick.
That's how drafts go, you know. Certain players, somebody sees something different that you don't expect, and it changes the whole dynamic of the draft. Wada going for the 3 to bring it in.
Yeah, that's another player that I don't know to say Edmonton was upset about getting. Obviously, they wanted to make sure they got Xavier Clark with the #1 overall pick, and with the 3rd pick, it was either going to be Teresa or Awada. I feel like Teresa's a bit more explosive on the offensive end, where Awada is a bit better on the passing side. So, interesting to see the 2 and 3 picks match up against each other.
And you know, I think it worked out for the Firestorm that they ended up with Coyote, just because of the idea that they could match her up with Griga and Kendricks and kind of get the Firestorm to be in the conversation again, which the first part of this season so far, they've been a contender.
Yeah, they're still, I feel like, finding their groove with the addition of Williamson. We've seen a bit of bouncing back and forth between Teresa or Callum taking the point guard role. Cece dunking it down.
Campione! I love seeing the bigs do that kind of stuff.
I do too, and it's always a treat, especially when the teams, I mean, they play defense, but they're not going to be boxing out as crazy as we see in a regular game. No one wants to get injured in a non-playoff determining game that is really just for the fans and some bragging rights.
Ioto shouting, "Yo, right here." I heard that from in the booth. And Hunt was like, "Okay, show us what you got," and that didn't work out.
Yeah, the shot clock was starting to factor in there, and Coda wasn't able to set it up for the shot, but she's been fairly consistent from beyond the arc, so don't be surprised if we start seeing her take a few more. And Rutterfield, another player, been a big three. Go ahead.
I only bring that up just because, when you have a game like this with players featuring from different teams, the communication styles have to change, of course, a little bit. So you hear more of the vocalizations like that, and it's just kind of funny to me.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the plays really aren't that super complicated. You can't really afford to.
I suppose.
Oh, there we go. Alley-oop to Adam.
That's Adam. Yeah.
Nur just able to throw it up to Adam, almost like a no-look pass above the defender. And again, Adam, that is the benefit of having that finesse. He's able to get around the bigger bodies of Tanner Hunt, Weber, and Cece just because of his speed.
Xavier Clark, on a first shot opportunity, didn't manage to get that one down. Clark, as well as Awada, participating in the dunk contest, and I was going to bring this up a couple moments ago, but Awada, as she brings it up, or they bring it up the court here, kind of fun to see a rookie get in the second round of the dunk contest.
Well, I mean, Clark did not participate in the second round.
Right. Between the two of them, even seeing Clark there as well was a delight, and they both brought some really creative, interesting things to the contest.
I think Clark brought a fire hazard to the to the dunk contest, and we didn't have a dragon this year.
It was rightfully questioned, but for the most part, it was an entertaining first round. I just thought I'd bring that up.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely great to see two rookies participating in the dunk contest and Nur managing to make it to the second round, even though they weren't able to make it to the final. We're going to see a big shuffle of players onto the court for both teams here. Hopefully that won't discourage either of them from participating in the future seasons, as Roth laying it up and in. Backdoor pass, easy bucket, but the West find themselves down by 4 here.
I don't think this is terribly important at the moment. As you see, I think he got the foul on that one.
Yeah, she was able to initiate contact, so an and one opportunity. And, second Inari in the league.
Yes. The Alphas, if I recall correctly.
That is correct.
And always kind of fun when you have a sibling rivalry going on between two teams. But, of course, with Kiyomi's case, it's a little bit more of an idea of perhaps using this game more than Kyler had to really show off.
Well, that's the thing. Kyler was a top draft pick, whereas, Kimori wasn't coming in as a top 5 considered player. So there's different expectations on the two of them. Obviously, Inari Kyler was participating in the three-point contest. Made it to the second round.
Shot clock. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, shot clock is going to be a problem, I think, for a few of these possessions. Either they're going to rush it too quickly and it's not going to matter, or they're going to get stuck not knowing what to do. Is Yagori a teardrop there? Which I will admit I think would be an interesting thing to see, is if they do put Jordan, Ralston, and Yagori all on the floor at the same time, given that they are from the same team.
The distribution there, of course, is guard, forward guard. So I'm always interested in the Sables' opportunities as somebody who comes and joins us, like in that second round there. It's the wild card there. What they can bring to the table and what they've got here as we to like 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in this first quarter.
Yeah, we saw Moise there. Just lose track of where he was on the floor. Stepped out of bounds. Will be a turnover.
Rookie mistake.
No, stop it.
Does that fly here?
It crashes and burns.
I guess you would know.
Oh. I'm just glad that Xavier didn't crash. God, I can't imagine all the insurance claims that would have come from that.
I wonder what flyers had to be signed even to get that into the building.
I am fairly certain that there was a packet no less than 100 pages long of waivers that had to be signed.
My goodness.
I'm surprised Clark doesn't have a day-to-day wrist cramp injury, honestly, after signing all the paperwork that had to have been gone through.
The reticulated python there on the rebound for the West. Now it's just kind of a see who gets the next shot kind of thing.
Yeah, a bit of a cold spell for both teams here, and honestly, oh God, great defense there, blocked right back in. Both teams, again, you kind of see they're going with the isolation plays, calling for screens, and it's not really working for them. Neither team is willing to back off, as Moise will just take the shot, and again, not even a single pass that possession, which you start to wonder, is ego kind of a problem here, especially with these bench players not having as many minutes maybe tonight?
Well, I give rookies the benefit of the doubt, because the idea here being that they're in their first season, they're trying not to create many waves. I'm trying to figure out the right phrase for that.
Rock the boat.
At the same rocking the boat. But at the same time, this is a particular game where you encourage that behavior. So certain players, I think, will react differently to that. And you'll see certain players, like you mentioned, Moise not even passing the ball that whole run and then missing the pass or missing the throw. That factor in particularly for that player, is that something you can assume here, as we see another player from the team, the same exact thing there.
Well, to be fair to, I can't even say his last name, Lagadak. The Blue Jay was, he didn't have an open lane to the basket, and going for a teardrop there wasn't necessarily a bad thing for Athios. Again, it's more of those, hey, if you're double teamed, don't take a shot. As Roth will draw the foul from Oakley. And I have to admit, the East is definitely very loaded when it comes to centers. I mean, we can just look at Cece, Jack, Rebecca, Kevin, Langston.
Yep.
I mean, half their team is basically centers.
Yeah, they have a lot of bigs. They don't have terribly a diverse group of individuals on the team tonight, admittedly. But at the same time, I look at the roster, too, of having at least Rutherfield and Teresa, as well as Joseph Wolf, and, as we've mentioned, Kiyomi, available in the guard position to keep it at least balanced in that regard.
I mean, if anything,
It
it's
is.
the forwards that's the problem. I mean, between Weber and Hunt, they're the only power forwards. And then obviously, Way is a swing for the only one on the team. And a buzzer beater. Oh, and they're going to go to official review on that. Peace. Did he get it off in time?
Bernard Peace is pumping his arms in the air. The hippopotamus seems to think that it's totally valid.
Let's see what they go with, and they are going to. No, yeah, they overturned. They didn't. They overturned and to give it to him.
Gonna say this is the rookie challenge.
Well, I mean,
take
they
a-
still got to follow the rules of the game.
Well, they don't.
That's what the celebrity game is for.
Um,
I mean, that's when the bottle rockets come out and the confetti.
Anyway, it's 24-20 as we head into the second here. East up by 4. Lagadakis to start with the ball here. The outside, passing it to Moise. Those two seem to have a little bit of a connection here.
Ooh,
They've been on
tip
the floor.
pass. Oh no,
Tipped right back into Moise's hands.
Yeah, I know that. Pretty amazing. But then they handed it off to Jordan, and I'm pretty sure I can hear Jordan all the way up here calling out plays.
Well, he can only shout so much before you're just like, okay, I'll get you the ball if you just shut up. This is me over-exaggerating, of course, but...
Well, until I have to put my headphones on. I'm pretty sure they are rated for 100 decibels. Good on the second free throw. East up by 5. The West staying close. Even though a bit of a drought for both teams there to end the first quarter.
Still trying to figure out what the West is going to do to potentially shift the behavior here. Because there's just a lot of long shots being taken. Whereas I think they could be a little bit more successful if they got under the hoop.
Well, without Adam and Clark on the floor, I feel like they are a little bit more hesitant to attack the paint. I mean, obviously, we saw them with Peace down there as the East get the offensive rebound and the putback. Peace is really, and also I think Peace needs to be brought back out when Cece's on the floor. With his size, he's really the only one, I feel like, on the West that can match pound for pound with Cece.
That was Coates' first shot in good of the game from the Bangor Tides.
Good there from the West.
As Wolf brings up the ball here, I'm hesitant to say this.
Then think about it for another second.
Okay. The East have... Ooh.
The East have what?
Do they have a thing for 9s?
I mean,
I just don't know how to say it. So awkward.
whatever. The West has the most diversity of the teams in terms of species. Even though I think technically coyotes are not canines. No, I'm thinking of the hyena. The hyena is not technically the part of the canid.
Right. Species Diversity 101.
Look, I've been in college in about a decade, so come at me. And 9 minutes and some change left to go in this first half. And speaking of Kyoto, back on the floor. See what she's able to do. Nice step in. No good on the three-pointer, though, despite the extra space.
still like that a lot. There's talent from her that at least from the East point of view, she shines as one of the slightly brighter stars of tonight's game, in my opinion.
Well, there's definitely a lot of pressure on her. You talked about the Firestorm kind of rebuilding with their acquisitions, and they are expected to produce, and they used a second overall pick to acquire her, and she's unfortunately going to be compared to everyone that came after her. And if she doesn't live up to that number 2 status, that's kind of going to follow her for her career. As we see a foul coming out from Langston, and to the line they will go.
Squirrel putting his arm up like, yeah, I get it. It was on me.
It's one of the biggest pressures of a lottery player is, you have X number of players that came after you, and if any of them have 2 misses from the free throw line from Moist, that's not going to help them. But if someone like it gets picked 15th overall, has a much better career than you, and you kind of turn out to be a bit of a bust, that's going to follow you the rest of your career as a ball rolls out of bounds after the strip.
Hellweber had that ball and was set to make a good layup, stumbled a bit there from the defense of the West, and get that one going.
Yeah, well, the West can't afford to just miss free throws like that. Moist needs to actually make free throws in this league. This isn't college. College, you can get away with, a 70% field free throw percentage, but if you start dipping below that, you're going to turn into a hack-a-DQ-a-thon.
Oh, DQ. Looks like he was a rookie just yesterday. G. Frost takes at least one of them.
No good from Teresa there on the drive into the basket. Bit of a struggle to start here, obviously. And Clark! There we go, showing off some of that dunk contest flair.
First big move from Clark tonight. The Husky was reminiscent of Umechi for just a brief moment. I loved that shot.
Kyoto for 3. It wanted to go in so bad. It had to bounce off the rim 6 times.
Sometimes the ball just don't want to go in.
I mean, the contestants for the 3-point contest can tell you that. Trust me. They, how many times it just rings out when it looked so perfect going off the paw.
See, Clark has reactivated this crowd too, because the play of the game now has sped up considerably in these last couple possessions.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting it going, and that was a huge swing, but no good. CC could not get the block there. East, again, 2-point game, not a bad differential, but they are missing a lot of their shots. Rutterfield, can he get them going? Yes, he can from beyond the arc.
There we go. I was hoping for those threes from Rutterfield, like I mentioned at the beginning of the game, and I've been proven wrong in the past. This was another example of that. But the River Otter came through for me, so I feel good about my life again.
Well, again, one of those players that has found great success coming off the bench as a rookie. Block there, Clark. That is a quick reaction from the Husky. The ball landed in his paws, I think, with less than a second. It just throws it up there, turning around, hook shot.
Why not? Well, and then Rutterfield has the home crowd, too, getting back to the 3-point shot we saw there. We just haven't seen a lot of successes there, and it's really hard to... I get it, when the defense is this big, but... the East, at least, you're looking down more often than you're looking up.
Well, speaking of looking down, Clark, great matchup against Teresa. They just needed to... The defense help should have been down there. to provide some assistance. I mean, that is the size mismatch as the West pull within one.
Have been literally on fire for the dunk contest, but tonight, figuratively speaking,
I'm pretty sure they put all the
getting
fire out.
a little bit of smoke.
There we go, Teresa. If you can't hit this wide open, nothing but net.
Yes.
See, and that is the kind of plays you want to see where their post play is working, so they draw the defense in. There was a great mismatch there. And again, help defense had to go down in the post and help. But that just left Teresa wide open.
And that's 6 points now, obviously, on 2 shots from the East, from the guards.
Mm-hmm.
That's making the difference right now.
Yeah, Wada does answer back with a very quick 2, but they need to be facilitating a little bit more, and that's a little bit hard because we don't see a lot of three-point shooters. And Kyoto with the second, this time from the left
There you
corner.
go. There we go.
Another big 3, and just like that, the bleed is starting to balloon. Ralston unable to answer back. Will Teresa go for 3 for 3 in a row? Matched up against Clark.
Things come in threes.
They do.
Things come in threes.
But here we go. Mismatch. Baker. Teresa getting open. Same spot she just hit one from. 3 for 3.
Yeah!
Oh, and there we go.
Kyoto.
That is the exact play I'm talking about. You could see the second that Clark started to cheat in because he knew that was not a matchup that could be handled by the defense and block there. I believe that was Hunt with the block. And oh, they're going to actually take Teresa out. I mean, maybe give her a little bit breathing room. She is literally catching on fire right now.
Inari coming in now for the guard, east side, in her place.
Atheos trying to answer back with a quick 3, no good. Rutterfield, can he continue the barrage of 3s? But no, they're going to give it to Rebecca down low in the post.
Yeah, the Badger from the Pittsburgh. I think that's her first shot of the night.
I believe so, but look at this lead. It's already up to 10, and that's just the massive scoring potential from some of these players, and we see a great block there from these and a strip. Rebecca, is she going to go coast to coast after the steal? No, going to give it up to Inari. Back over to Weber. Down low to Rebecca again. She started this possession with a steal, but not able to convert.
Bigs are having the defense, the defensive game that they need to have to show off some of their skill. And then, of course, stripping Yurikov.
That was a great... Again, Clark has been reacting well in those very limited amount of time. That was blocked from behind, landed in his paws, and instantly went for the dunk, but CC
Campione!
does not want to be outdone, and she dunks it down too. It's turning... We went from the three-point contest to the dunk contest all over again.
Teams are unplaying safe. Say that.
Oh, especially the East, up by 10. They can start showing off a bit. They hand over the ball to Rutterfield. A lot of movement, setting up a play, but really they just want a screen to get into the post. Back to the basket, no good. The other otter, Ralston, able to provide enough defense to put a stop to that. Yugori from, the corner, but blocked out of bounds by CC. Will remain with the West.
I think it actually hit the neck. Long neck.
I mean, if the neck is
Neck
longer reach
deflection.
than the hands, then it works. That's like, there we go, Yugori. Open shot, no good, but Clark. Offensive board, second chance opportunity, blocked again. This time, shuffle bottom. Third chance, no good, but we'll go to the line for 2.
Oh, man. Now, Yurikov clearly wants to be the next player for the West to get this to turn around a little bit. Taking the same 3-point shots that Kyoto has been. Hasn't been working out so far. I admire persistence.
I think they just need to get a little bit more open. We saw it with Kyoto. The first shot she hit, and there we go. And Nari going to continue showing off a bit with a 3 there, and that's the fact. The East, 6 for 13 from the three-point line, whereas the West are 0 for 3.
Oh, they're all Ryurikov, I think.
Yeah, I think
They have not been. They have not been taking threes tonight until this quarter, which is astonishing.
Well, to be fair, if you look at the East, I don't feel like they have, besides Atheos and Yagori, they do not have a strong three-point presence in their roster. And both of them coming off the bench is going to limit the number of plays to get called for them. Not
Correct.
saying that Awada and Inari, same spot, same 3, but this time a higher degree of difficulty.
This is just unfair.
Well, this is what you call momentum, and it didn't even come from Inari at first. It all started with the Coyote, Teresa, 3 straight threes.
And the West here are just going to run out the clock. They're not even going to...
Oh, they can't
get a one shot here.
Yeah, they can't afford to let them get another 3 opportunity. If they let the East walk up the court and hit a 3 before the halftime, that would just be devastating. I mean, the lead has built. And we'll take a look at the stats in just a minute after the halftime show wraps up. But I can already tell you, Teresa has been on fire to start this game. And there you do see 12 points from her so far. And Xavier not too shabby from the West himself. But there's only so much him and Adam can do, especially against these the towering terrors that are the Eastern. You know, they could put 5 centers on the floor if they really wanted to.
Well, it's the East Coast guards that are scoring these 3-pointers for the East that are making the difference in the game at the moment. Mm-hmm. I have been really impressed by the play so far from Xavier Clark, and then we saw some brief bursts of excitement from Adam Cody earlier in the game. But it's been all the East in the second quarter. They were up by 4. They expanded on that in this quarter. And as far as what the West can do, if they want to come away tonight with, the win, it's just to control some of these guards from getting all over them, because right now they're being challenged a lot on the defensive side, and that's affecting their ability to score.
Yeah, and their centers, they need to get Adam back involved. Obviously, he had those 3 big dunks to start, but just very quiet since then. And if most of Xavier's shots have been, he has 3 offensive rebounds. Like, he's clearing the offensive boards, but they're not getting him necessarily involved in the game to start with. And because of that, the defense is able to put some pressure on that perimeter. And they need to start pulling the defense away from the perimeter, give those open looks for their players. And as you see, the scoring is very spread. I mean, Weber with 3 baskets for 6 points. Rutherfield with 7 points. CC perfect from the floor as well, 6 points. I mean, Inari, a bit cold there, but hit those 2 threes to end the half and just expanding this lead.
And Kyoto, of the 9 shots she's taken, 8 of them have been 3-pointers. Mm-hmm. And of course, 4 of them have been... and that's why... now, at least, we have been kind of talking this over a little bit in the second quarter, but it's quite amazing what can change at the flip of a coin, and bring some momentum to a team that, in other circumstances are opponents with each other. So it's always fun to see.
Yeah, I mean, and it's also great to see, like you said, the spreading of that kind of momentum. I'm not going to say Inari couldn't hit those shots on her own, given the opportunity, but you have to think that Teresa hitting those 3 in a row got everyone pumped on the bench.
All this to say, though, it is an exhibition game at the end of the day.
No, who wins this gets a trophy, I promise. This is the FBA championship here.
Is Chuck Mandeville going to come out personally to deliver it tonight?
I mean, he might deliver it after he's done carving it. Adam
would
with
do that.
Adam with a great offensive putback and the bucket. 4 for 4 from the field. Look, I would appreciate a wood carved trophy from Chuck. I'll gladly take Broadcaster of the Year, thank you.
Deserve it, man.
Aw, thanks. Awada, fast break opportunity, slows down though. Alley-oop a tip, but no. Weber able to get just a little bit higher and pull it down, and Rutterfield from the right sideline is good. This is the three-point contest. We've had 2 from the left, from the arc, from the top, and now from the other side. This is every spot that the racks are in the three-point contest, just spread out between people.
Well, and Weber even predicted where that shot was going to go and positioned himself perfectly to get that
interception
turnover.
Yeah. And Kyoto, she had the three-pointer. Now she gets it done on the fast break. That'll help her field goal percentage if she takes some of those. Not that it's impressive not to be hitting almost 50% from the three-point line. And Clark, great positioning, but the defense collapsed on him. And that's the problem when you kind of start standing out. You're going to have all the bodies starting to pay more attention to you. You need another fur to take a little bit of that pressure off of you. Weber, almost stripped. Going to give it to Rutterfield with time. Running out. Mid-range jumper, no good, but Cece clears the board and gets the foul on the putback.
It was Clark just trying to get something going for his team. I don't even blame him.
No good on the second. Down by 18, and it really is off those three-pointers. They've just been so difficult to make up ground when they're hitting them that consistently. And it's not even one player hitting it that's the problem, and it's the fact that 3 of them are hitting threes, as we see Trissa changing up her strategy and has been mostly a post for now.
Ralston on that last shot was just clearly trying to get some points in. Didn't even let the defense have any time to set it up, but just, simple little mistakes. I don't even blame her for that.
Yeah, there was another tough shot there. I mean, the defense for the East is definitely there with Weber, Hunt, and Cece, but Xavier getting it done. Block there. Ooh. Fast break opportunity. Are they going to go to him in the post? They end up backing out. It's up to Frost on the perimeter. Would have been great to see an alley-oop on that fast break, but get the crowd a little bit into this game. I'm not going to say the point differential is definitely not helping keeping the fans invested. Ooh, a big block there coming out from CC. And that time I think it was the wing, not the neck.
Yeah. Oh, what are your thoughts so far on the East Coast bigs? And they've been moving around quite well. I know there was some concern about that earlier.
Oh God, not from here, not now. Thank you for being mortal, Teresa. They have already died. You can stop hammering it in. But as I break off that tangent of Teresa of trying to eviscerate the West, I've been impressed with Hunt and Weber's mobility. However, I do think fatigue is going to be a factor for both of them. I don't know if they can keep this up for much longer. Obviously, this is a game that doesn't have any consequences, so they have to be mindful not to push themselves too far. No one wants to go back to their team doctor and be like, hey, yeah, I rolled my ankle pretty bad. I'm going to be out for 6 weeks.
Another missed shot from Kyoto gives West another opportunity here to break. Cody?
Yeah, Adam,
be the one to do it for him.
Getting it done. I mean, we talked about the retirement of Randy Catcher and kind of one of the last frogs in the league. He got it going, and looks like maybe a torch is being passed here with Adam coming in to fill that void. He has been absolutely fire, and Kyoto making up for some of those long-range attempts. Going to go down low in the post and laid up, and there we go. Adam, 5 for 5. I want to see him shooting even more until he starts having some difficulty with the defense. He's getting it done, though.
I understand the idea of passing the ball around in these types of games. But I am interested too in seeing just what he can bring. And really, we compare him to Randy Ketcher just by fact of species similarities. Randy was a very special player that's going to be hard to fill the souls for, and as far as we've talked about his dynamic ability, his agility, definitely on par with what Randy was. He just needs a little bit, maybe some experience there, and utilization. We talk about just getting him the ball tonight might be the difference here, versus being down 18 points. But we'll see. There's still a lot of game left.
Yeah, and I mean, he's obviously not a point guard, so it's not like he's expected to be the most agile on the court, but he uses his agility at his size definitely to his advantage, and it's more so being able to be an inspiration. I mean, I'm sure he grew up watching Randy Ketcher play in the league and being able to say that, hey, I can do that too. But now that the now player
here,
yeah, great opportunity against Teresa, and again, great matchup there, and he just bullies his way into the post.
He's finding a way to have fun tonight. I saw his victory screech or whatever.
I mean, it's a good time for a timeout, as I'm not going to say the East are worried about giving up the lead here, but they definitely probably want to make some adjustments. Adam has gone 6 for 6 so far here tonight. But it's those mismatches that I like to see, and I like to see how, even though this is not a game that they're playing with their main teammates, the fundamentals are still there, and they can use every experience they can get. Because the thing is, some of these players, their contracts, in a year and a half, will be up, and going into free agency is Yagori unable to make the basket, but Peace cleans it up. So I was going to say they have a very limited window to really prove their worth to the 24 teams in the FBA.
It'll be interesting now with the East basically putting their entire five on the court here. Whether we'll see more of the same.
Yeah, well, we saw. I mean, Way able to get the basket there, and the East are definitely going to give their bench a bit more play time here, and I think the West has also kind of gone to that same bench makeup. Save them for the last few minutes. As we see a foul coming out from Joseph there. I'm definitely interested to see how the teams develop. I mean, we talked about players with teams with multiple players being represented. You have the San Jose Thrust with 2 starters in this game, Kenji Frost and Adam Coate. Frost hasn't been as sparkling tonight as he normally is, but at the same time, Adam has had the spotlight placed on him. Obviously, the 3 wild card rookies are also here tonight.
And I've even been impressed with Rutherford and Campione's play, both the Huntsville Mayor's home players, so to speak. They are able to present not only the best of the rookies, but also the home team, home court. They're the hostesses, if you want to say that, and I think they've done a great job of being the balance between the scoring and the defense for the East.
By the way, I want to correct something. We had the wrong team in the division that Kamori Inari plays on. She plays for the Queens. Queens Prides along with Joseph Wolf. The color gradient is very similar to the Albany Alphas.
How dare they disrupt a printout information?
It's quite okay. We'll
grab a pen. Apologies to Kaomi Inari.
I mean, to be fair, we got the right division, and they're not that far apart. As you see a great turnaround jumper coming in, and Here's the fact: the East have been consistent tonight in their field goal percentages. You saw shooting around 50%. The West, not so much. They definitely struggled multiple droughts, and I
Yeah.
think they just don't have as much offensive firepower as the East here tonight.
Oh, I will say the offensive power, the firepower of the West is concentrated right now on a few select players. And I don't think that's necessarily, to keep it positive, anything that is being controlled by the game plan or anything like that. It just so happens that there's been particular mismatches at times, and we've been talking about it all evening. The sizes of the bigs of the East, and how more often it is you're going to end up faced, you know, with this uh, defensive army against you.
Yeah, I definitely feel I mean, NER is more known for their passing and dribbling and setting up the rest of their teammates. Obviously, they can shoot a bit from all over the court, with mid-range being their better area. Uh, but even Ralston really is more of a point guard in terms of how they are. Their play style just so happened that the top two guards
Yeah.
for the West were similar play styles, and that can be a bit problematic when trying to mesh on the court. And big block there. Speaking of from the West, see if Yagori can get something going from beyond the arc, him or the Blue Jay. And it's going to be Yagori from beyond the arc. Oh, just a little too much from the top there, off the back iron. Coach loses it, though.
Ooh, I don't blame Ralston for that for the idea that you've got two players with similar play styles, and therefore, ooh.
I'd say the Sable just slamming it down. He couldn't make the three, so he makes a statement with a dunk.
It's 69 East, 57 West. The West making a little bit of a comeback.
Yeah, that they are. And you were talking about Ralston being similar play style, not really being able to blame them.
I don't have a particular full understanding of either of their play styles. Of course, the very new players to the league. As far as she's been able to bring in some of these passes and at least keep the West active on the floor, I think she's done a tremendous job.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate thing for the West, is the bulk of the starters live in the paint, and they're going against a team that has some of the biggest paint defenders from this last draft. So it's a terrible matchup necessarily against them. Whereas, the East has two absolutely dynamite three-point shooters in the starting lineup. Oh, there we go. Finally broke the streak. Well, a chance for the West maybe to get a three up here and get it back within 12. I mean, but no, gonna go down the shuffle bottom, but blocked. The Python unable to really get enough elevation there to get the shot off. It's gonna be Rebecca, no good piece, cleaning up the board. Oh, no good on the second shot, but the score is back within 15. So the West have not given up here tonight.
Like watching a bright yellow flame run across the floor whenever Jordan has the ball.
Yeah, and so we see some big blocks coming out tonight again. That's just a lot of these players, especially some of the shorter ones, have maybe not always played against consistently the kind of height they face in the FBA, and that's a learning experience for all of them. I'm sure players like Lance Wildfire and Narcissa Cassius can talk about how moving from college, they were already kind of on the shorter side there, but having to suddenly face off against an even taller subset of defenders is something that takes a little time to adjust, and both of them definitely, it took them a year or two before they started to light the league up. And speaking of lighting the league up, there's Rutterfield Gonna go to the line for an and one off the mid-range jumper.
Now, that was Lagadakis there, just not really, perhaps getting a little bit frustrated. I don't know, but he's spent a lot of time also on the perimeter tonight, and may have just been tripped up there at that particular moment.
And Clark, oh, there we go. He's going to answer back with one of his own. The Husky able to just to drop it in with the contact.
Here, Clark has brief moments of fire that make him a very excitable player to watch.
I will say it's probably a good thing he did not get drafted to the Albany Alphas. I don't know how he would look on Coffee. I'm fairly certain they still have the Coffee Huskies machine somewhere. And a block there coming out from Xavier against Rebecca. Roth down to Clark. Clark over top. No good. Rebecca will come up with the board.
Revenge on the Badgers' sake for getting called on the foul earlier there.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about how she gets her revenge. She's a little bit intimidating on the floor. Rutherfield for three is good. He wants to bring back the double 20-point lead. Maybe starting to pick up a little bit and see if Teresa can get it going too. And a quick drive to the basket. Good play there. I think that was
Elliot Jordan.
Oh, Jordan did it?
It's Jordan, yeah. Could you not see the yellow feathers flying across the court?
Look, I may have gone a little blind on top of, the hearing loss.
Oh. Oh, you should get that checked out. Be important for your career path.
I mean, Fur puts ball in hoop, ball go down court. Passes are made, maybe.
No, I jest with you.
Clark again, hook shot, skyhook, no good. Rebecca,
Man.
he is unable to back down the basket. And Rebecca, nice little reverse layup as Clark was a little slow to get down between the basket and her. And now it's back to a 20-point game, but Clark, watch him, he's open. Now they end up going for the shot, and it's going to be Shufflebottom who comes up with the offensive board and putback. I think Clark and Shufflebottom were both in a position for an offensive rebound there.
That was Hoggy Shufflebottom's first into the game, I believe, as well. The lone star representative tonight.
That's a bit of a heat check shot there as Rutherfield kind of just throws it up with his back to the basket. He has quietly, and I say quietly with a little bit of it, sarcasm, put up 22 points as we see Clark getting his own miss and putting it back. I almost called him the Coffee Husky. The engineering Husky pulling down the offensive board. So I think that's his fifth.
I think we've walked. I think maybe I've drank one too many coffees tonight. I shouldn't be blaming anybody for anything like that.
And back on we go. Rutherfield spinning around. That is a difficult shot. And honestly, that's just confidence there. And Weber intercepts the pass.
Ooh. Yeah, Rutherfield, it's funny. We've got two Otters as our shooting guards tonight. Mm-hmm. Both are playing similarly in that a lot of shots taken, not a lot made. At the same time, they are kind of still really helping drive the game forward.
Well, Ralston's been struggling a fair bit, at least compared to Rutherfield. Rutherfield has, he's starting to make some misses now, but Ralston has been a bit cold at times, even if she is distributing the ball well. And there we go, Clark.
See, that's what I'm saying. Controlling the ball there as Ralston passes it to Clark to get the shot that they need to at least have a hope somehow getting this lead down. It just seems to me like between the two of them, the results are pretty much the same.
Yeah, except one of them gets the flashy point stat while the other one gets the assists. Speaking of Weber getting the offensive rebound and the putback.
Which, by the way, earlier we saw the assist of the game tonight went to Wei Zing, Pittsburgh Keystone representative of the East. There was... I don't recall particularly what that exact play was.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Assist of the game is one of those calls that I find hard to make. Unless there's an absolutely crazy alley-oop. We've seen a couple really good passes down low into the post leading to dunks. And I'm not going to I'm not going to discount them.
You're paid by the sponsor.
I mean,
say good things about their choice for assist of the game. You do not want to ruin this live on air.
The sponsor provides great insurance.
There you go.
State Farm is on your side. Remember that.
Yes. Yes.
Especially when you get sent to the farm for being bad. Which is where I might be after tonight's game, apparently.
I am no comment.
Yeah, save yourself. It's okay.
Got a game going on.
Well, Roth gets absolutely blocked out of bounds by Hunt.
Roth getting plenty of time tonight, just not being totally involved in the offensive game thus far. Really playing more of a defensive role.
Yeah, and it's really, I mean, it's been through Clark and Adam that we've seen the points trickle in for the West, and it'll be interesting to see at the end of the game, you know, how much did the two of those really contribute to the final total. There we have a miss and an opportunity for the East to build back this lead. I'd say a 20-point lead is more than comfortable with 5 minutes left to go almost.
Well, we'll see if any of these players decide to have a little bit of fun now as we get towards 5 minutes and 46 seconds left here in the fourth. Score is now 89-72.
Yeah, I mean, this would kind of maybe, I don't know if I want to call it, if you're the East, you know, maybe Hunt, you want to take a three-pointer just to see how it feels. If it's an air ball, who cares? You're up by almost 18 points here.
Just make your team all guards. Bring Teresa back out.
All centers.
And
you know, bring all the centers out.
Now that would be entertaining. Oh, Teresa is out. Yeah.
Now who's blind?
Was not even paying attention. Yeah, well. Sometimes I'm just not looking for particular players on the court at the same moment that they actually have the ball, which is a pretty bad strategy for a SPF analyst.
Well, big block there, but it will remain with the East, and it's going to go right back into Teresa's quite sure pause. See if she goes for just a three-pointer here as the shot clock is winding down. It's going to be a little bit long range, pump fakes, and ends up short. If she had been on the line, that would have been good. And Awada wants the fast break opportunity. One-on-one, able to convert.
There we go.
16-point game. Maybe the East, you know, don't take crazy fun shots because that's only 8 basket difference there. If the East, if the West doesn't do any threes, but Teresa, she's been hot from this corner and she continues.
I was about to say Kyoto's strategy on that last break was to let the clock wind down before taking the shot. There she just decided no time like the present and made it. I can't even critique the whole thing.
No, and a turnover there, and she's going to give it to Weber, who's going to drive to the paint, but keep an eye on Teresa getting open on the post, but block. Huge block from the Husky.
Needed that.
And down to him in the paint. Oh, yeah, he's feeling it right now. I mean, they're going to give their best in this final 4 minutes here. See if either coach decides to bring out their bench players with such a lead. But you have to imagine they might wait closer to the 2-minute mark.
Here again, we wind down the time clock.
Oh, that's a more open three, and if it is a little farther, but Baker, he gets the offensive rebound and the putback and the and one. That's just the Otter unable to block out the big old golden retriever.
Tends to get a little bit feisty at this point of the game, especially when you're just trying to make a point of being a good player. And Alston there getting caught on the foul probably wasn't the best look. But at the same time, Zach Baker getting the opportunity to make one of his first shots of the night. I can't recall if he's had other shots.
I don't think he's made a shot if he had. And we saw Frost finally showing up on the board as Hunt gets the backdoor reverse layup. Might have an opportunity to break 100 here for the East, while the West hoping probably just to break 85.
Trying to get distance, too. Really difficult against this defense.
Yeah, but the great matchup down low in the post. Keep an eye on Clark. I think they're going to want to get it to him. But no, shot clock comes a problem for Nur. Taking the three, no good. A little short there. And, a backcourt violation. I think Teresa, I think, thought that was an opponent behind her, and she took a step back, not realizing it was her own teammate coming up the floor.
She heard footsteps.
Yeah, I think she lost track of where she was on the floor. As a quick drive to the basket is good from Frost, and he's up to 9 points now. That's 4 in just the last minute.
Getting into the paint is crucial in these fast breaks. You don't want to use it on a three and end up giving the ball back to the East at this point.
No, but Rutherford, the Otter, is going to drive to the basket and just hit that little layup. 1 point away from breaking 100.
I should say at this point, if the West wants to go for threes, my guess, there's really... It'd be interesting just to see. I'm not quite sure more can be said that hasn't already been said. It's just been a really hard game for these the bigs of the West to really assist their guards in keeping the defense at bay.
And even, I mean, we saw the start of the game. It was a very heavy post play, and they got the guard. The centers just had to focus so much. And Kyoto, okay, she is unrelenting from that left corner.
She at 26 points or something like that at this point?
I mean, she's put out, I think she's made 6 threes. I think she's at 20. No, I think you're close to 23, 24 because of those post plays she had. We'll have to check the final total at the end, and we are going to see, with 90 seconds left, a mass substitution come out. Get a bit of minutes for the players that didn't get to be featured as much, even if they want to keep Kyoto out there. They want to see if she can get maybe 30 in this game.
Indicative of a player who is looking to make a statement tonight, by far above anyone else tonight. I'm hard pressed to go against anybody who has to take on Kyoto in the rest of the regular season.
Yeah. Again, making a statement for their team to be like, hey, I'm going to be the starter for this team going forward. You need to consider me a threat. And see if she gets any more off his way. Over to Kyoto. Rebecca is on the floor as well. The two Pittsburgh players out there. See if they get anything going between them. But I see a nice screen. Wide open, but a little short. Maybe some fatigue finally trickling in. As Awada wants to get a bucket up quick in the transition and is good. 15-point game. I don't know if the East will even bother really taking a shot here with 4 seconds between the game clock.
And the last shot with Nur Awada making it statement, at least for their sake tonight, that despite just not getting enough open opportunities.
Okay, Teresa, just step in over the defense. You know, that's fine. That's fine.
still had a solid game. That's all I was going to say as the clock winds out.
Well, with that, the game does wind to a close 104 for the East, 87 for the West. And diving into the stats, a bit of a struggle for both guards, Awada and Ralston. I mean, Awada did get a good number of assists, as you see 6 there. Clark coming away with a double-double, 21 points, 10 rebounds, 3 blocks. Great defensive effort from the Husky.
Now the West. Sorry, keep going.
No, you're good. We can. I mean, not everyone is blind like me, so they can read the stats.
Well, Frost got 9 points and Cody got 12. Had a really good rebounding game with 7, and Ralston as well. We've talked about. All I was going to say was that in the case of Iwata, at the end there gave a nice headbutt, kind of as a gesture of good job to Teresa Coyote. I thought it was really good on their part to show that kind of professionalism.
Yeah, I mean, a good game from both. I mean, obviously, thankfully, we had no drama in terms of hard fouls come out there by any upset players. And Moise definitely stepped up off the bench. You see 12 points there, 4 for 7, 4 for 6 from the free throw line, even though missed 2 in 1 possession, which is not great. Might be taking a couple free throw drills in practice to shake that off. Have to make 90 before you can go home. As we dive on over to the East, and I do want to see who ended up coming out on top between Rutherfield and Teresa, because I feel like both of them. And Teresa by 2, that last bucket, she had to get that up just so she had the most points of the 2 of them.
I understand now completely. But look at that. I was right, 26.
You were
You
at the
dared
very.
to doubt
Well,
me.
you said 26 before she hit that last bucket, so
I'm a
you were just
predictor of the
predicting the
future.
future.
But 24 but from Rutherfield was unexpectedly really good on their part, too.
I mean, 50 points between the 2 of them. They made up half of the scoring for this East rookie game. And obviously a good spread between the rest of them. And we saw Hunter, Webb, and Hattori all under 10 points, but they took a fair bit of shots and all pulling down boards, all doing well on defense. I mean, even Baker, he did have a shot in, I think, in the first half that we overlooked. Inari didn't have as much playing time in the second half after her big 2 threes to start in the first half. But getting it done with the rebounds and the assist, no turnovers. Overall,
Yeah,
go ahead.
it was just 3 of 10 on Inari's part. That was a little bit of a struggle for Inari tonight, just getting those shots to come in in the 3-point line.
Yeah, and Cece only needing to take 3 shots here. I mean, she just had a presence on defense, 3 blocks, matching Xavier in terms of the amount of defensive pressure she put out. I mean, she was the starting center, and she didn't even play that much because they had so many centers to get out there.
It was a game that as unfortunate as it is, was just one of these balance issue things that kind of becomes a little bit problematic when the execution comes down. But even with the West, it was a bit of a crazy night for them. Offensively, a lot of the success came from their bigs, where it was the exact opposite from the East, and that's kind of where things sat team wise. But I think both teams have shown that there are some really amazing, talented young furs ready to take on the rest of the world, and will have a long and fruitful career here in the FBA.
Yeah, it was a great showing for both teams tonight. And both, I'd say definitely a number of the top picks showed up, and Rutherfield kind of proving his value on the Huntsville team in front of the fans of his home stadium. Definitely probably gave him a bit of a boost tonight being able to play in front of them, and have to see how he carries that momentum into the second half, as well as players like Teresa who, again, I'd argue player of the game here tonight after that performance. She honestly got them started. The game was about a 2-point game up until she started hitting those threes, and when she did, it just ran away with it.
Yeah, there were a little bit early on, not much going on from the guards on the East, but about towards the end of the first quarter into the second quarter, and definitely when those threes started coming in, it became clear that not only was she trying to make a specific statement, she succeeded at it. And like I said, I think the Lorraine Firestorm are lucky to have a player like that that they can maybe hopefully uh, build a team around or potentially, share some success with in the years to come if she stays on uh, as hot of a flame as she was tonight on the court. It was amazing.
Yeah, and any final thoughts before we sign off for the night, Matt Lewis?
Um, respect respect the game and don't go insane from Husky Coffee, and assist of the game is an important um,
Important sponsorship moment.
yes, we have to. We're sorry again from earlier, okay? We are clarifying how important it is right now so that we maintain this very lucrative and important sponsorship.
How can you call
Very
something the assist of
important.
the game if we're 3/4 of the way through the game?
Um, the fourth quarter assists just are for fun. Different sponsor,
Different. Okay, there we go. Different sponsor.
something
Assist
like
of the
that. I
third.
don't know. I'm just here as the analyst. Okay.
Well, thank you again for joining me, Matt Lewis. I've been Ryan Eastman. Y'all have been wonderful tonight, despite our technical difficulties to get started. But hopefully tomorrow, with the All-Star game, will be a bit smoother, and we will see you then. Have a